All right, welcome back to the sitting on the floor crisscross applesauce in my living room show where I talk about arcade sticks and how to waste your money in very cool ways. Today I've done the unthinkable. I bought this thing, even though I absolutely hate Japanese levers. I'm gonna put a K lever in it. But first, I feel like I should have a little bit of like a very quick unboxing because there's a bajillion videos of people unboxing this shit already on YouTube. But I just want to do a little super quick, like 2-minute long unboxing, show you what it looks like, and then just like press the buttons a little bit and shit and show you guys what it sounds like, what it kind of looks like up close. Just to give the people that usually watch my videos about the MakeStick X Prime kind of like a nice comparison, because I get a ton of questions and then I'll go through an in-depth to my capability comparison between this bad boy out of the box compared to the MakeStick X Prime that I currently have in my basement out of the box, and the price difference and the shipping difference and all the other differences you could think of and all the questions you might have about whether or not you want a MakeStick X Prime or if you want this Victrix Pro FS, hopefully will be answered by the end of this video. So, to the quick unboxing. All right, I am now in my basement, on the floor, on my knees, like every Tekken 8 player ever. So, fucking slip fit. All right, as per usual, this is the Apple style level of packaging and shit, where everything is like super tight, looks nice, you know, makes you feel like you know, totally got your value for the money. Not saying that this isn't the value of the money, but pretty sure everybody's opened up an iPhone at least once in their life. Cables, whatever, braided, purple, cool. And very nice packaging. Bunch of trash nobody cares about. And here it is. Okay, these foam blocks are really nice, by the way, for packaging. Okay, so it's in a sack, which is cool, I guess. And here it is. Very nice. Looks pretty good, huh? It is not as heavy as I thought it would be. It is definitely not as heavy as the MakeStick. But it looks good. I like this anodized purple. Like divots and shit. Looks pretty good. I don't really have anything else to say. So I guess that's the unboxing. Now I'm gonna go to my desk and give you guys like a little bit of a sound comparison, I guess. All right, here it is on my sick battle station desk. With this quick release lever thing that I popped in there. So first, I guess I will do the lever, which is, of course, it's a squared off round gate that is, of course, a Japanese lever. It's Sanwa, so it's, you know, with springs and shit. So it's a very clacky kind of sound, and I'll let you guys hear that. Now, I will say that's pretty good. I used to play with a Mayflash that had like the most cheap Sanwa lever of all time, and that one sounded like you were fucking starting up like a diesel truck or something. It was terrible. So now we have the buttons. I don't know what buttons these are, by the way, but we'll just call them Victrix buttons or something. I'm sure they're probably Sanwas as well. Okay, they're nice. They actually remind me a lot of the OBSJs that are on my MakeStick. So obviously if you're a PlayStation player, this means something to you guys. I just play on the PC, so, you know, it is what it is. So now, just like kind of a few things here. Obviously, I am a K-Lever user now. I used to play with this, but I will be honest, it does feel pretty good. Out of the box, it's nice. But like I always said in the last few videos, once you go K-Lever for Tekken, with the rubber grommets and shit, you do not want to go back. This would be unplayable for me. Just because it's, I don't know, it just doesn't feel the same. And I'll show you guys a comparison in a minute. But I will say one thing. If you are, for example, a Street Fighter player, or like a Guilty Gear player or something along those lines, more 2D, not 3D, then this is probably incredible. If I actually played Street Fighter like I used to, then this would feel great. It feels good. I don't like the ball top necessarily, but you could probably just switch that out. But it's a good lever overall, I will say. The buttons feel nice too, and it is a very aesthetically pleasing, you know, arcade stick. It looks really nice. The anodizing is super clean. I'm sure the camera's not doing it any justice, but it is a deep royal purple, which is my personal favorite color. And it's nice to see a company offer such like a premium stick. Now it is metal, you know, nice aluminum frame. You guys can definitely hear that. So, you know, feels good. Definitely feels premium, like I said before. But I will say that maybe during the winter time when it's really cold, this might get a little cold as well, but that'll probably feel nice because I get nice and sweaty when I play Tekken. Now, one little gripe I have, I don't know how to fucking take this thing off, but one thing that I'm not a big fan, I'll just put it on my lap. This is such like a stupid thing to complain about, but I am so used to the front being what gets opened that I hate that this is like on the bottom. It's just me now, I guess, nowadays. Since I modded the MakeStick so many times, it feels weird having to like turn the stick upside down to get into here. Now, obviously, I'll be taking all that out and putting a K-Lever in. I have another Alpha N waiting for me with the IST Kale switches on here. These are very nice. Very nice. And then I also have a Crown 309 MJ or something with the Gershing buttons or whatever they're called. And I'm probably going to shove one of these in there, which obviously, FYI, you do need one of these 8-pin to 5-pin converters to do that. As you can see, kind of, there's a lot of stuff going on over here, but this will probably go in somewhere in there, and that's what I'm going to do. So now I guess I will do kind of a side-by-side comparison between this guy and the MakeStick, which I have coincidentally right here next to my Polish glass. So this guy, I don't know if you guys can tell, but completely different aesthetic, huh? Now that I have them kind of side by side, I will say I kind of prefer that. But now I'm going to do a direct side or kind of a sound comparison between the lever and the buttons. First, I'll do the lever. So back to this. And then now this is the Alpha N. Gonna show you guys kind of like the spring back from the grommet and how much of a difference that makes, for example, returning back to neutral. This is a 40 tension grommet in here. I did replace it. Plays very well. I really like this this setup here. This, you can see the return here. Very linear. Very emotionless, in my opinion, you know? Not a lot of passion here from just my experience. Not a lot of fire in that step. Here it's almost trying to rip itself out of the hinge, you know? Trying to get out of there. So now the buttons, again, I'm not too sure what these are, but they do sound very nice. And then here are the OBSJs right here. They actually sound exactly the same. I think those might be OBSJs. Sanwa, of course. Actually, they do sound a little different. So, another thing, this is the Victrix layout, as you guys could tell, right here. And this is the Noir layout, specifically made for, Tekken, originally in the Tekken arcade cabinets, now available for, your own pleasure here. And this is the Victrix one. Doesn't really matter, I only use these 4 buttons anyway, so kind of the same, you can tell here. But if you're somebody that's inclined to mapping it differently, like playing this way, then I can see that making a difference. But for here, for all intents and purposes, you're just pretty much using those 4. So, like I mentioned, I'll show you guys one more time, the modifying components and whatnot. I really do like the fact that I can just open it up from the front. I don't know why. It doesn't really change anything. I just kind of like it. It feels like I'm popping open the hood of a car. The other one I have to, obviously turn it up on its head and do whatever over there. But this one I don't have to like take out the joysticks or do anything over there or be worried about like scratching up the metal or whatever over there. Obviously I'd be working on my lap, or I'd put down like a towel or something to not scratch up the anodized aluminum, because it is obviously a very nice finish. But you can see kind of the setup here in comparison to what I showed you guys in the Victrix, obviously, or sorry, not the Victrix, the Victrix. The Victrix one is much more assembled with like, I would say almost like robotic like assembly. I don't know how it's going to turn out to be modded, but obviously I'm going to do that. But yeah, it's a pretty good stick. Very nice. I could see that a lot of people would definitely want to pick this up out of the box if you're not somebody that's interested in a K-lever, if you're a Street Fighter player, anything along those lines, or you just simply don't like the rubber grommet style of the K-levers and you play with a Sanwa anyway, then I would just suggest getting this. Because I will give you guys a nice little price breakdown, as I've been asked a few times. Now this is obviously $399.99 plus, tax and whatever, but you can get this off of Amazon. So, if you got Prime or something, shipping's free. It comes in like a day. And this obviously comes from Korea. Now a lot of people have struggled with kind of the website and whatever, and it's very slow. But I'm going to give you guys kind of a price breakdown of everything that was added here and the price comparison. And I think you guys will be a little bit shocked. Also, that's my knee autograph that I got from when I met him at Combo Breaker. Very cool guy. So over here, I have kind of this is what I built, right? This is on the ISTMALL. I know it's going to look like shit because it's on my phone, but I don't feel like recording on my computer. So it's the PS5 fighting board, MakeStick X Prime. The complete basic layout with, all the basic buttons, just like the Fanta lever and whatnot, is $258, but you can do quite a bit of modifying right here. So for example, I had the color of the box was white. I had the button layout changed to Noir, which doesn't really cost anything. I put the lever as the Alpha Lever N, which added, $54 to the price. The buttons, I had the Sanwa OBSJ 30mm golds, excuse me. And then I had the free weight added, because as I said earlier, the MakeStick X Prime is actually heavier than the Victrix. And the total amount comes out to about $350. Now, you may be thinking, okay, it's $50 cheaper. No, because you're shipping it from Korea. So it ends up being about, literally, unironically, the same exact price. Because shipping from Korea for like this weight, this size box and whatever it comes with in DHL, it costs like $60 to $70 depending on your area. I'm in the Chicago area, so shipping was like $60 or something like that. So it ended up being literally the same price, basically. Around $410, $420 for both. So, yeah, they're expensive. These are, I would argue the highest quality arcade sticks that you can get. This one out of the box, obviously. no customization. So you're paying for literally whatever Victrix puts in this, which are super high quality buttons, super high quality lever, super high quality materials. And over here you have a lot more, this is what I want. And whatever you get shipped from IST is like perfectly installed. Everything is good to go. You have the lever you want. You have the buttons you want. You got whatever the PCB board in here is or whatever. You got all that shit made up pretty much for basically the same price. So yes, this can end up being more expensive if you want to put a K-lever into it, because you'll have to go buy a K-lever, and odds are you're going to want a nice K-lever. So you're going to buy one that's like 50, 60 bucks. And then you got to get the pin connector, you know, you got to get the 8 to 5 pin connector. And then maybe you want to switch out these buttons because you don't like how it's purple on black. Like for example, these golds would look so sick on here, but that's a lot of work that a lot of people might not want to do, you know? So at the end of the day, if you've got money to blow on something like this, but you want it to be fully customized out of the box without you having to fuck around with, you know, wires and whatever and ordering different parts and worrying about, can I have a high collar, you know, whatever, because for these you can't have a high collar one, and a lot of people like the high collar K-levers. I personally like the low collar ones because I like to have the ability to shove these things into literally whatever arcade stick I want. So, you know, you don't have to worry about stuff like that when you just get one of these. But if you do put in the effort and you customize this to exactly the way that you want it, and you get the parts that I have here and you shove them into this thing, yes, the arcade stick as a whole will probably end up costing, you know, 500, 550 bucks, maybe even 600 if you're going, you know, crazy with like gamer finger buttons or something, or you're getting like a Vini lever, or you're getting that like Sanjux lever, like the V7 or something that's like 120 bucks. It's going to be super expensive. But imagine how tight this would look with like the gold buttons and like a golden lever or something. You know what I mean? Especially since this thing does have LEDs on the side that I don't really care much about, but some people might. And it's officially licensed by PlayStation, so maybe you're worried that, oh no, it's, you know, somebody has assembled this and you don't know if it's going to work perfectly, or maybe your local tournament won't allow it or something. I don't know, some whatever excuse you could think of. So yeah, I mean, I guess I hope this kind of answers a lot of the questions that some people had about whether or not they should get the Victrix or the MakeStick. Because the pricing is quite literally identical. Metal frame, plastic frame, opens from the front, opens from the back. Super nice wiring on the inside, pretty decent wiring on the inside. Fully customizable and kitted to exactly your specifications with exactly what, you know, buttons and levers and PCBs and wiring and whatever you want, along with you can add whatever weight you want in there as well, versus a completely out of the box Sanwa, whatever Victrix decides, buttons, whatever Victrix decides, probably Sanwa as well, like I said, you know, but it's fully metal. It's this anodized purple, which looks incredible. It looks really nice. It really does. This camera is not doing it any justice whatsoever. I'm sure you guys can get kind of like a nice shot of it, but yeah. So, you know, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm down to answer whatever. But yeah, my next thing is I'm going to take this thing out and I'm going to shove one of these bad boys into it. So let's find out how that goes. All right. So a quick side note, this was a lot easier, than I thought it would be. I mounted my Alpha N K-lever in here. Everything fits awesome, thanks to the fact that it's a low collar, or no collar technically. Everything works awesome. I'm just going to show you really quickly how I kind of got it going on in here. Super easy. They even added the little notches here to kind of fit in, you know, whatever modifications you're going to do. And as you can see there, you see these little kind of edges right here. See that? That's like the outline area where you would, for example, put this, right? The Sanwa levers sit like that. The K levers sit horizontally like that. And they thought of that, go figure. They added the little notches. I don't know if you guys can see it in there. See how it's kind of outlining the K lever here? I can't really see it here, but maybe over here. Blading's kind of messing, but you guys can kind of see it right next to that screw right there. There's a little ledge. And it perfectly just pops in there. And you can just have it like this. Obviously, you know, looks a little messy, but it is what it is. I will say the only hard part is mapping which wiring goes to where, because it's kind of like inverted, I guess you could say. So you just got to figure out which buttons map to which inputs, like which one's up and down. I just had to play around with it for a few minutes, but it took me about 15 minutes to get this in there. So not hard at all. Very nice. I'm going to be playing with this, and I'm going to be playing with the MakeStick X Prime. I have a higher tension one in here. I have a 45 grommet in there, and the MakeStick I have the 40 grommet. So yeah, overall, just going to give you guys one last view of this thing kind of just assembled. Looks pretty freaking good, huh? Looks a lot better with the Korean lever. The next thing are these buttons. I'm definitely going to switch these out, and it is going to look so cool. So again, thank you guys for watching. Hope you liked the video. This thing is awesome. Now it looks better than this. Maybe. I don't know. I think it just depends on what day. What day it is. This one on Mondays, this one on Tuesdays. You know what I mean? All right. Thanks for watching, fellas.